Why are there so many tidies in my closet? Hello? Um, I don't know if I should leave you alone or like, no, never mind. I'll invite you here. Come here. Come here, you guys. Let's have a chat. So I'm so not ready to record this video. I'm so not used to recording anymore. Oh my god! But I'm so excited to see you all here. What can I say? A lot has happened. I did not lose my ability to speak English because I train it every day, but like to speak on the camera, it's kind of difficult. However, let me give you a little bit of an update on my life. First of all, I got a cat. Okay, she's my tiny. She lives with me. She is very traumatized. She's a very traumatized tiny. So imagine meeting a borrower that is so scared of humans, that was abandoned as a child and was living in like an adoption center, and then some giant buys it and accommodates it, the borrower, them, sorry, not it, them, in their apartment, and is kind of a gentle giant, but also you don't know because you're a anyway. I don't know what's going on in the head of a cat, but there is that. I spent 3 months earning her trust. So that's first. Second, it's not important, but I changed my job. I changed my hair color. It's third thing. And fourth thing, I became so freaking obsessed with Stray Kids. Oh my god, you guys. People who know me in real life or like text with me every now and then or follow me on certain platforms, Instagram, Tumblr, like I'm everywhere except for X maybe. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with Stray Kids. So I'm holding you like this. And today we're gonna talk about Stray Kids being giants. It's my headcanons, first of all. It's a disclaimer. So take it with a grain of salt. It's purely for entertainment purposes. It's not canon, okay? And today I'm only gonna talk about Banchan because like I wanted to include all 8 of them in one video, but I understood that I have so many headcanons, so much to say about all this. And even right now I'm gonna talk about Banchan is because I have notes. I have notes to not kind of like a scenario to this video, because last time it had no scenario almost, and I hated those videos. I never watch my videos again because I don't like it. She's talkative. I like it. Today we're talking about Banchan as a giant. Okay, just to tell you before, it's gonna be a POV. You're a borrower. I'm not gonna do anything like they are giants and you are a tiny. I don't want to imagine them as tinies. I don't know why. Maybe if like guys you want to, I will make them as giants. But first of all, you have to fall in love with Stray Kids, because like Stray Kids, I love Stray Kids. I love Stray Kids. I love Stray Kids. I love Stray Kids. But I hope you accept it. So in order for me to keep myself in giant tiny community, I have to tie it to my current hyperfixation, okay? When I was hyperfixating on MHA, I was reading a lot of fun fictions, but like MHA giant tiny with different hashtags like borrower, Izuku, or whatever. Oh my god, so cringe. But hear me out. We're all weird kids here. I hope. Okay, Banchan. First of all, just to keep you interested, he would be the definition of a gentle giant, the definition of a father figure or an older brother figure when it comes to giant tiny setting, okay? Who Banchan is. He is the leader of a K-pop group, Stray Kids, a very popular, extremely successful K-pop group, Stray Kids. I am biased. According to Wikipedia, he is a singer, rapper, songwriter. He has 236 songs credited, like, he's credited on 236 songs. Thank you. And record producing, record producer, but also he's a part of 3 Racha. I'm not gonna delve into it. If you're interested in Stray Kids, go read it yourself, because it's gonna take really 24 hours just for Banchan, okay? Then he's a dancer, he's a vocalist, he is a dad of 7 kids. I'm not gonna elaborate. He's a leader of Stray Kids, as I said. He's Fendi ambassador. He's just an amazing human being. Okay, we all agree on that. So, into Giant Tiny. The scene where I imagine you first meeting is at night in the kitchen, and you were borrowing something, aka for him you were stealing something, and he sees you and he's like, First of all, like, of course he doesn't believe his eyes like a normal human would. He would think that maybe you were a tiny doll or a robot or whatever, but then he sees you like trembling or whatever, like you were panicking, and of course he tries to calm you down. But also, when he calmed you down a little bit, he becomes a little bit self-cautious, because he doesn't know how long you've been there. What did you see? What did you not see? Who are you? Maybe you're like a crazy tiny stalker or whatever. You know, K-pop idol life is very difficult. But when he discovers that, like, when he trusts you with words like, you're fine, you're just here to live and to steal his stuff because you were borrowing, then you elaborate what borrowing is. Of course, we all know what borrowing is, so I'm not gonna tell you that. But yeah, when he learns about it, he's like, okay, from now on, don't steal. I'm just gonna give you stuff, just ask for it. I think a lot of humans would have dealt with this way. But you were like, oh no, but if it becomes like that, the borrowing purpose is kind of lost, and you're gonna be like, So at the end, he'd probably let you go, but at the same time, he'd be like, at the back of his mind, he would think of leaving something for you, like, I don't know, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, some fruits, the leftovers of his meals, or I don't know, soap, cotton pads, whatever you need. And you'd appreciate it, but also you'd be like a little bit annoyed because you asked him not to do it, because you were capable of doing that yourself. Anyway, I can talk about it on and on and on and on. Even before we met, okay? My thoughts here were very chaotic, and they're not in the right order, so I'm gonna be jumping back and forth. But before you guys met, you quickly learned that living with him needs carefulness, because this man loves order. He's actually a perfectionist, so whenever you were borrowing something, you'd have to be extremely careful putting stuff back into where it belongs. For example, if it would be in the kitchen, you would not touch anything except what you needed, and in very little quantities, because this man would have noticed. And if you moved something, oh my god, this man, he would think that he has maybe pests, or like an infestation of some sort, so he'd call in some organizations, which we wouldn't want, okay? I have a lot to tell you guys. I have a lot to tell you guys. Oh my god. I don't know if I will succeed, but let's hope that editor me is doing her job well. Okay. Banchan does look intimidating, what I wrote at times, but you learn quickly that he is very gentle and kind, which is basically what I said. This man does look intimidating because he would call you out if he doesn't like something, like you did some you were disrespectful or something. He would call you out for that. However, if you're respectful and you're nice and you're like on good terms with him, he's such an amazing human being. Oh my god. If you have daddy issues, you don't. With this man, as a gentle giant you live with, he would cure your daddy issues immediately, okay? So go check Banchan out. actually. As a person who does have daddy issues herself, he cured them. I don't have daddy issues anymore. If you were terrified when you first met, he'd hold the questions and calm you down first. He definitely won't touch you if you didn't want to. Of course, yes. This man is very respectful himself. As he said, I'm a very simple person. If you respect me, I respect you. If you don't respect me, I don't respect you. Simple as that.
Now, I'm a very simple person. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. If you respect me, I respect you. If you don't respect me, I don't respect you. I'm very simple.
You respect me, I respect you. Simple as that, okay? Simple. Simple, simple, simple. You cross the line? Ooh. Yeah, don't do that. I would have done it if I were you.
But if you don't want him to touch you, he wouldn't force you in any way, shape, or form. He would probably force you to drink water if you were dehydrated or eat if you were hungry, but he wouldn't do what you don't want if it's unnecessary per se. Okay, so after the first meeting, after he let you go, he would worry about you because this man is very worried. He's like a hen, you know? He is an overworker, overthinker, probably, most likely. He is very social, but also, like, he's very unselfish. And when, like, he's responsible for a lot of things also. And when he meets you, he thinks of you, and it's natural for him, probably. Again, this is head cannons. He thinks of you as of another responsibility. Not in a bad way, but he just constantly worry about where you are, if you got into trouble, if he stepped on you accidentally, if, I don't know, you need help, or you need something that you can't reach, or something, I don't know. But it is natural for him to worry about those things. So he wouldn't probably tell you because he respects your privacy, but he'd keep an eye on you still. He would leave stuff for you in some closets or on shelves or wherever, some food, water, supplies, whatever he thinks that you might need. Anyway, let's proceed. Because, you know, you're tiny in a giant human apartment. God knows what can happen to you, especially if you're a girl, especially if you're a minor. Oh no, that man would lose his mind if you don't show yourself. But we'll talk about it a little bit later. So in order for him not to worry, he'd probably ask you to come out once or twice a day just to say hi and to say that you're alive, and then go do your things. For example, when he goes for work in the morning, you just like, hello, I'm alive, and then go away, sleep, because borrowers do usually sleep during the day, right? And at night, he'd probably ask you to say goodnight. Or he could just let you be, and he'd still worry without asking you to say hello every now and then. But this would cause more issues for his health, because he'd have even worse insomnia, because I don't know if it's confirmed, but I think he does have insomnia problems right now. And he'd be even more exhausted, both mentally, because he's thinking about a small human being in his apartment alone. And of other responsibilities, of course. But then lie awake till, I don't know, his body gives up and he just falls asleep like that. About physical contact, we all, like GT lovers, GT lurkers, we all love physical contact when it comes to hands, or I don't know, hair, or I don't know, kisses, or whatever. So, how it's gonna be with Banchan? First of all, he's an ENFJ, and ENFJ are stereotypically known, or in my experience known, to love physical contact. They're gonna be like, oh, you're my kitty patootie, let me hold you, let me like hug you, let me squeeze you, or whatever. And he's kind of like that, but he also respects your privacy and respects your boundaries. So he wouldn't force it, as I said before. But if you ever need something, like you need help reaching something, you need to be held, you need to be hugged, he would give you the best hugs. In the entire Stray Kids group, he is the best hugger, and I'll put some videos.
A big hug. Yeah. Yes. Big hug. Big hug. Yeah.
Big hug. Yeah.
아니 뭐 온라인이니까 괜찮겠지? Yeah. Big hug. Woo. 자, big hug. Big hug. Big hug. Big hug. Yeah. 감사합니다.
He's the hugger. The big hug is his logo. Big hug, big hug, big hug, big hug. Yes, please give us more. But, of course, if you want to, only if you ask for it. He'd be very gentle, very soft. Here are some pictures of his hands if you want to. I love it. As a giant tiny lover, hands are very important. It's like the most important body part if you're a GT lover, in my opinion. Again, in my opinion. Okay. The scene. How I imagine your first touch would go. And I will read it as a bedtime story, okay? He was tired. Like exhausted in every way, kind of tired. Mentally, physically, everything. He had so many responsibilities on his shoulders. A new album release, song production, upcoming world tour. He was constantly worried about other members of Stray Kids and all. And he hasn't seen you in days. So he couldn't help but think about where you were. It was 3 a.m. right now. And he was still sitting at his desk working on something in his laptop. You were peeking from behind the stack of books on his desk near the wall. You thought to yourself, this man was nothing but understanding and kind to me. Maybe, but you stopped yourself. Several times, actually. But finally, you came a little bit closer. You were behind his laptop right now. Your heart was pounding. Imagine being so anxious because he's so big right now and you're about to do something very forbidden that your parents told you, no, you can't do that ever or else. So your heart was pounding and you didn't trust your voice in the slightest because it would have shaken. You would just cry probably because of how stressed you were. So he came, and without looking at Chan, you touched his finger that was resting on a mouse. He'd flinch, then see you, and at first he'd be shocked because he didn't see you in days and he thought that he was hallucinating because he didn't sleep properly and it was 3 a.m. of course. But then he'd feel like something big got off his shoulders. Another responsibility. Then he'd ask you if you were okay, and all you'd be able to master would be a small nod. Chan would smile and keep his hand very still. He'd tell you, I appreciate you doing this, but you don't have to force yourself. Oh yeah, he's Australian, so it would be with Australian accent. I don't have Australian accent, so sorry. It's not as accurate. But you'd squeeze his finger and shake your head as if saying, no, I'll stay. and that night he'd sleep the best in past weeks. This is purely my imagination. Of course, there is so many possibilities. Like I can't imagine more. I can imagine more, but I cannot put everything in one video. However, guys, if you have something you want to add, some headcanons or another scene that you would imagine, you can put it in the comments. I read every single comment. Sometimes I don't answer to those comments because I think, I should make a video of answering to comments purely. Like, reading your comments and then answering. But then I just don't do videos. I don't make them. I don't record them. I'm like, I feel bad. I should answer those people. But then I'm like, but if I make a video, so I'm so sorry, guys. I appreciate every single one of you, every comment, every like, every share. Thank you, really. But there is no reason for me to not answer you. So one day I will make a video of just purely answering your questions. So if you have something, you can put it in the comments. And for the last part, some fun headcanons that I thought of maybe could fit his personality and your personality. I don't know your personality, but I hope I'm like as unbiased as I am for tinies. Anyway, first one, he'd slip in some dead jokes and would be so cringe, and you'd stare at him like, and he'd love him personally. I can definitely see that coming because there is a joke, Banchan is so old.
I have a good idea. Guys, Banchan is so old.
And he cracks dead jokes and he's very funny actually, that's true. But some of his jokes can be a little bit like, okay. At least for me, I don't know. Second one, after some time, when you're comfortable around him, he'd have episodes of cuteness aggression and would probably squeeze your cheeks or ruffle your hair. I can see that coming. I didn't say about the size of a borrower we are as I am doing this series, but I imagine us kind of like, I don't know, like a palm size. I think it fits maybe a little bit less, like, I don't know, 10 centimeters, 12. My hand is 15 centimeters, so 12, I guess. Anyway, and at 12 centimeters, I think it's pretty safe to squeeze one's cheeks. If you're 6 centimeters and you're imagining yourself less than that, it could be deadly. So please imagine yourself a little bit more than that. Okay. Third one. Chan is a Rizzler. We all know it. He's a big time Rizzler. He loves to flirt with Stays. Stays, a name of a fandom. Stray Kids? Okay. I didn't mention that, sorry. So he'd flirt with you in a platonic way. Platonic, as I say, because there is no romantic relationship in any of these headcanons. No, I don't do that. Since he's a big time Rizzler, what I wrote, he'd try something like,
Can I be yours? Yeah. I thought you were already mine. If I can't steal your laptop, can I steal your heart? Well, I thought you guys already took my heart. Your hands look heavy. Should I hold them? Wow.
or
Your and your are two different words because you're mine and I'm yours. I'm yours.
and then you'd counter him with,
와! 와, 이건 처음이다. 찬아 신발 예쁘다. 우리 집에 있으면 더 예쁠 것 같긴 한데.
and then he'd blush. Fourth one, sometimes he'd be the one to need comfort, because usually he's the one that's providing comfort for you when you're crying, when you need a big hug, when, I don't know, you having a bad day. He'd be like, I'm here for you, you're okay, it's okay to cry, it's okay, we're all humans. But sometimes he'd be the one to need some comforting, to need a reminder that he's a human, and you'd tell him how much of an amazing human he is. You'd be there for him. You'd probably like put your hand on his finger and like give him a little squeeze, or I don't know if he's crying, if he ever cries in front of you. I don't know if it's possible, but he could, because he's not emotionally constipated, he's emotionally mature, I believe. You'd probably like be closer to his face and I don't know, do something like this, or like pat his cheek. He'd be like, I appreciate you so much, you're so cute, come here. And he'd give you a big hug. Next one, if you say or do something that he didn't like, as I said before, he'd scold you like a dad or an older brother would, but it wouldn't change how he feels about you, and if he sees positive changes, he'd be very proud of you, as a dad or an older brother would. So when I said that if you have daddy issues, you don't anymore, this is what I meant. He would not be angry with you all the time, and he'd only be reasonable with his scolding. I don't know what else to add. And the last one for today, sometimes he'd show you drafts or spoilers of some songs, because he's constantly on his laptop, and his laptop is his life. Everything you need to know, everything, like the concept and the songs till 2050, there is a common joke, are already out in his laptop. So he'd show you some spoilers and songs and samples, and he would value your opinion. I don't know if whatever you say to what he showed you would change what he would do. Probably not. It's headcanons, I don't know. You tell me. But I hope I interested you enough for you to go check Stray Kids. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for bearing with me and my hair prefixation. I hope you have a lovely day, and I see you soon with Lino.